Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just a quick look at this knife. I haven't had it for too long, and I am selling it. It's more of a catch and release for me. I need some money, so just gonna have some quick impressions on it. This is actually the Kershaw Storm 2 next to a Spyderco Tenacious and a Victorinox Chill Guide for a size comparison. But some quick specs on the knife. It's 5.8 ounces. Blade is 3.5 inches long. The knife is 4 3/4 inch closed. And open, it's 8 1/4 inch. So here's size comparison with it closed. Let's get these two out of the way and get to the knife. The Kershaw Storm is one of the basically value frame locks from Kershaw, and this includes other models like the Storm 1, stuff like the Shallot and Leak, other stuff like that. And it's actually a really nice knife for the money. You can get these for about $40, maybe $45 at the highest. And I don't think there's been too much press about this knife. And that's not rightfully so, because this knife is actually a very nice value for the money that it costs to buy it. Let me open this first, and let's get to the blade first. We have a 3.5 inch blade of 14C28N Sandvik steel. That's the upgrade from the old 440As or whatever they used to use. The 13C26 and stuff like that. So it's a very good steel. I wouldn't put it up to the level of VG10 yet, but it's definitely a solid performer and better than your 8CR13 MOVs or anything. You can see the blade shape is a little unique, and this might be something that people aren't too huge of a fan of, but it has a very handsome looking recurve. It looks very good, but I'm not 100% sure how it would do on functionality. Now, blade thickness is very reasonable, but as with a lot of Kershaws, it gets very thin towards the tip. If any of you have a Skyline, you'll know what I mean. If you just look at the tip, you can see how thin it tapers down. And that kind of makes me hesitant to use this knife in a heavy-duty role, even though it does have a frame lock. The blade is hollow ground from about 3/4 or 2/3, something like that. It has this nice bead blast. Kershaw bead blast knives are notorious for rusting, and I don't think this one's an exception. But if you just take care of your knives, oil them down once in a while, and clean them off if you do anything really nasty with them, they'll stay in good condition. On here you can see the the Kershaw thumb stud, which is pretty cool because it's sort of angled to your thumb. If you can see, the cross section here is sort of a triangle cross section, which has a nice pad for your finger to grip as you push it out. Very nice. Overall, the blade is a pretty good utility shape. It has a belly, but the only problem is sharpening it. There might be a little bit of difficulty with that because of the recurve. But besides from that, I think it's a good, solid performer for EDC tasks, and could really go into some heavy-duty work. Nothing like the Cold Steel AK-47, but it could do some relatively decent work. This one is pretty old, April 07, model 1475. Let's get to the handles. Handles are 410 stainless steel. This is a frame lock with these Track Tech inserts, and these Track Tech inserts really feel like it's not quite skateboard tape. Skateboard tape is much more aggressive. This is very, very nice to the touch, and it does add a bit of grip, not too much because it's just not over the whole knife. But it's very solid for the amount of Track Tech they give you. It actually does add a significant amount of grip, so there's no complaining about that. There are these holes here. I assume they make the knife a little lighter, but they're really more for aesthetics, and I think it looks fine. I'm kind of neutral about that. Let's go to the other side. I have a stainless steel frame lock. Lock bar is decently thick. It's just basically the thickness of a pretty thick liner lock, so it's not anything too thick. You can see how high the clip rides. This is something Kershaw does a lot, and you can see like this much of the knife will stick out of your pocket when you put it in, so that might be a bad thing. But thankfully for this knife, you can actually do it tip up and tip down, but the problem is it's for right hand only. On the left side there are no clip holes. Lockup is very solid on the knife. Ease of opening is good. The thumb stud is decent, but the flipper is pretty cool too. You kind of have to get used to the flipper. I'm not even over the curve with this because I haven't been handling it too much, but it's sort of a the flipper is very close to the handle, so you don't get a lot of space to work with it. So it's a pretty good looking knife in my opinion. The weight is 5.8 ounces, which I think is reasonable for the knife this size, and I also think it's reasonable because this is a very sturdy knife. It's all stainless steel construction, so you can't really fault them because there's really no way you can make it lighter. Some jimping up here on the ramp actually works decently well, and on the choil here too. The ergonomics are very good, very comfortable in the hand. You can see here back spacers, not back spacer, but pillar construction. Yeah, that's about it. This is the Kershaw Storm 2, just a quick look based on my first impressions and handling the knife quite a bit. So, hope you guys enjoyed the review. More coming later. Pretty good knife for the money. I advise getting it if you like the design. But I'll see y'all later. Peace.